Today we are learning how to use the standard method to multiply by a two-digit number. Let's start by figuring out what 32 times 13 equals. Well, we can write out 32 times 13. Now, I find it helpful to separate 13 by using different shapes. You don't need to write this, but it will help us stay organized. We're going to start with our ones place, or our circles. We'll multiply the three ones by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Then in our next circle, we'll multiply 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Now that we've multiplied the circle by both of the numbers on top, only now do we move on to the square, the tens place. To show that this 1 is in the tens place, we always put a placeholder 0 in our second row. Then we can start multiplying squares. We'll begin by multiplying the 1 by the 2. 1 times 2 is 2. After that, we can multiply 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Now that we've finished multiplying both the circles and the squares by both digits on top, all we need to do is add together these two rows. When you do that, 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 2 is 11, which we'll regroup as 100 and 110. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. So 32 times 13 equals 416. Now let's do one of these together. Let's figure out what 42 times 22 equals. We'll begin by writing out 42 times 22. And again, we're going to use the circles and squares to help us stay organized. Let's begin by multiplying the ones place, or the circles. I'll start by multiplying 2 times 2. What is that? 2 times 2 gives us 4. And am I done with my circles yet? No. Next, I need to multiply 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Now that I've multiplied my circles by both digits on top, we can move on to the tens place, the squares. What is the first thing I need to write down when I multiply by my tens place? You always need to remember the placeholder 0. Now we can start multiplying, and we'll do 2 times 2 first. What does that equal? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Next, we'll have to multiply 2 times 4. What does that equal? 2 times 4 is 8. Now, what do we need to do with these two numbers? We need to add both of these together. When you add these numbers together, what do you get? Well, 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12, which we'll regroup as 12. And then 1 plus 8 is 9. So 42 times 22 equals 924. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. Use the standard method to figure out what 31 times 23 equals. Well, you can write out 31 times 23, and we'll use shapes to stay organized. First, we'll do 3 times 1, which is 3, and then we'll do 3 times 3, which is 9. Now we're done with our ones place, the circles. We can move on to our squares. You must remember your placeholder 0. Your first square will be 2 times 1, which is 2, and your next square will be 2 times 3, which is 6. Now we can add these two rows together. 3 plus 0 is 3. 9 plus 2 gives us 11. And then 1 plus 6 gives us 7. 31 times 23 equals 713. Now here's your last one for today. Use the standard method to figure out what 14 times 21 equals. Well, you could write out 14 times 21, and we'll use shapes to stay organized. We'll start with our ones place, our circles. 1 times 4 gives you 4. And then 1 times 1 gives you 1. When you move on to your squares, you have to add a placeholder 0. Then in your first square, you multiply 2 times 4 to get 8. And then you multiply 2 times 1 to get 2. Now you can add these two rows together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 1 plus 8 is 9. And nothing plus 2 is 2. So 14 times 21 equals 294. From today, remember, when you multiply a two-digit number, multiply the ones place, the circle, by every digit of the top number. Only after that should you multiply the tens place, the squares, by every digit of the top number.